Okay, everybody rise, please, and we'll have a pledge. Sue, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Joan? Where's Joan? There she is. Can you do a prayer for us just to get this?
Lord, we give you thanks for this day, for Rotary, and for all these great young people and their families that will be getting scholarships. Be with them wherever they go, whatever colleges they go to, and guide them and keep them safe. And be with all Rotarians, especially those who aren't with us tonight. And we give you thanks. Amen.
Amen. So please be seated. In Rotary, we have 4 basic rules in life. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? Now, if you ran a business, that would be a pretty good code of ethics, the 4 things that we did. And this came to me when I was about 60 years old, a long time ago. And I wish I had come a lot earlier. So we're happy to have all of you here today. We want to introduce you to each other and to the community. I know some need to leave early, so we're going to do this a little out of order in order to help people. We've got some softball players, but softballs are not soft, are they? They can hurt you. I hated softballs. I was a hockey player too. Okay, so let's start off. Mike, let's start out at your table, and please introduce yourselves. Mike may not know your names.
Right. You want me to intro? My name's Steve Cassini, and I'm here because my daughter here is Jessie, and very grateful and thankful to be here and appreciate it.
All good. Well.
Hi, I'm Jeff Hinckley. I'm here because my brother recently received the scholarship award, and 2 years back I received the scholarship award when I was in high school.
Great.
Super. Are you going to school still?
I'm at Rutgers University in Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Susan Hinckley, and I'm mother of Jeff Hinckley and Brad Hinckley, the scholarship award winners.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Good job, Mom.
At this table, we have Kathy. We have an application for you, meant for members.
Good,
So
thank you.
appreciate you coming. See me, I've got it.
Okay.
It wasn't easy to find. Thought it was, but it wasn't. Hinckley, right?
Yep.
You look very similar to these guys.
I'm Brad Hinckley. I won the award, so I'm very grateful for that. Appreciate it. And
Where
That's
are you
fine.
going to
Yeah.
school?
I'm going to UMass Dartmouth.
Excellent.
All right. Okay, we've got a visitor. Yes,
Pete Groden, Jupiter, Florida.
Jupiter, Florida.
And Scituate, Mass.
Yeah, he really has a place in Scituate.
No clapping. You guys endured the winter, I didn't.
I was in
You should be
Florida.
clapping up.
Okay, good morning.
I'm Marie. I received a scholarship last year, and I'm at UMass Amherst.
I'm Jessica Cassini, and I received a scholarship this year, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm going to Northeastern University and studying in Australia for the first semester.
Thank you. You're going to Australia for a semester?
Yeah, I leave in 41 days.
That's ridiculous. Do you have any adult supervision that's here? Yeah.
Her dad.
Right. Your dad is here? He's going to go to Australia for freshman
I
year?
got to go to friendlies after college.
Yeah. What's that about? It should be an adventure. College is an adventure. For a guy like me, I went from Minnesota to the East Coast, and that was definitely an adventure. We probably want to try to let you leave, I think, by 7 o'clock. You've got a softball thing. So, JD, do you and your crew that selected these people have a few things to say? We could do between now and 7 o'clock. We can do the whole presentation. While you're getting up here, I'll just talk for a second. We give these scholarships every year because they're really focused on people who came from this area and were heavily involved in service to the community. And this is an extremely important part of all this. It isn't about the money, it's just about the service part that makes Rotary and other organizations that are similar so effective in helping in what's going on in the world right now. So I'll turn it over to these guys and let them talk a little bit about these scholarships. We're very proud of all of them, really.
Okay, I have, it was a pleasure this year for me to be part of the selection process, to choose, to read through all the applications and decide on Jesse and Brad and Isabel Burton. And Isabella can't be here tonight because she's actually gone to her orientation at the University of Massachusetts Amherst.
Yeah.
So Marie, we have to get you two together.
Sounds good.
That would be great. So she very kindly wrote a lovely note, which I'm going to read, that explains how she feels about receiving this award. So it says, "Dear Scituate Rotary members, thank you for choosing me for the Rotary Scholarship this year. I greatly appreciate your generosity at the start of my college journey. Next year I will be attending the Eisenberg School of Management at UMass Amherst. I plan to major in management and I am considering a possible minor in Spanish. I have done a little research about Rotary and Rotaract in the Amherst area, and to my delight discovered that UMass has a Rotaract club. I plan to join Rotaract and participate in as many community service projects as possible while at UMass Amherst. I also want to thank you for the support you have given to the Scituate High School Interact Club. I believe our first year was a success, and I hope to see it continually grow in the future." Thank you to JD for that support that you've given so well too. That's great. Additionally, I truly appreciate Scituate Rotary Club sponsoring students to attend RILA. I have attended the conference twice, once as a student and once as a student leader, and it helped me discover my passions. RILA is a life-changing weekend for high school students. I am confident RILA will always be a big part of my life in the future. I regret that I can't attend the dinner with you, as I will be at UMass orientation Thursday and Friday. Thank you for all that you have done for me throughout my high school career, and I will continue to keep you posted on what my future holds. Sincerely, Isabel Burton.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice letter.
That's Isabel, and Isabel was one of three, and Isabella was kind enough, and we'll try to get her over maybe sometime in the summer, just to come and have dinner with us.
She would be delighted.
We do have two of our recipients here with us tonight, as you all know. We met briefly last week as I shook your hand. So welcome again, welcome parents. Thank you for coming. I don't have any prepared remarks on either Brad or Jess, but I'm going to kind of give you a brief overview of some of the things that they put down in their application. So maybe we'll start with Jess, who has been involved in the student council at the high school in RILA, and attended RILA this past year, right? In the jazz band, in softball, as you know, because she's got to head out of here to get to another meeting, was involved in freshman mentoring with students this past year. Community involvement includes the pep band and Polar Express and Red Cross blood drive and the Scituate scavenger hunt, et cetera, et cetera. So Jess has been involved in community, Jess has been involved in school, Jess has been involved in mentoring students, and that's kind of the focus that we try to bring, what we hope to see is community involvement, community service, which mirrors what we do. So, Jess, thank you for all your work this year.
Picture with the two of you, Jeff.
Sure.
I can do that too, right?
Absolutely.
Joan, do you want us in front of the podium or behind?
Back on
or-
this picture.
Okay.
Please take two pictures.
So Brad, also, again, we met very briefly the other night, last week at the high school. Congratulations again. Brad's been involved in Scituate's, in videoing, right? And you were involved in both volunteering to video for the school and for the town in various things, right? Brad reached out and offered time and service and involvement to both the school, to the town, for his, on behalf of some of the things he was doing. He was also involved in Habitat for Humanity. I'm assuming maybe, is this Appalachian Service Project? So Brad's been involved in athletics, in helping to bring that to the community in terms of his volunteering and in terms of his filming and being able to showcase some of these things. As he mentioned earlier, he's heading off to UMass Dartmouth, so we wish you well on that. So we just wanted to, again, honor you, recognize you, thank you for your involvement in the community, because these are the things that we would like to pass along. So thank you very much. So now you can go ahead and take a picture.
Take your time, John.
No pressure.
We go way back. He was a little kid when we used to do Habitat.
He used to sleep on my lap during the meetings. Very nice.
So we thank you, and we hope that what little we're going to be able to provide will help a little bit. So.
We had another recipient that happened to show up tonight. How much time again, Maureen?
Well, I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready right now?
I can give you a few minutes.
A couple minutes. Maureen, you came by. You got anything to say about your first? Is it first year or second year?
First year.
First year.
Yeah.
You didn't get to go to Australia.
No, maybe Scotland next year.
Why don't you talk for a
Nice.
second about what you think is going on these days? I'd like to hear what you have to think.
Sounds good. I don't have something to work for.
She was Girls and Boys State, Girls Nation. Met the president, and in case you didn't know about this young lady, but
It's you guys.
it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat to have her come back and say hello to us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Good evening. Congratulations, guys. It's so exciting. I remember, actually, I couldn't make it to my scholarship recipient dinner. I was counseling at Girls State, but I remember receiving it, being so excited, being so grateful. And I'm grateful tonight to hear and learn about what you guys are doing as Rotarians. You guys always have a really cool project going on that's always super interesting and always in some super cool country doing super cool things. So I'm so glad to be here and learn about it. I was lucky enough to be the recipient of 2 Rotary Club scholarships. So the first enabled me to go to Girls State, and as you said, I got to go to Girls Nation, and I had one of the most incredible experiences of my life, going to the White House, meeting the president, meeting now Secretary Kerry. He was only a senator back then, and Senator Scott Brown, so that tells you how long ago that was. And the second enabled me to take full advantage of my first year at UMass. Instead of being worried about paying for books for the extra classes I was taking, which is not cheap, I was worried about making editor at the newspaper or getting elected publicity chair of the advisory board within my department. The day I moved into UMass, I'm an honors student, so I'm in the honors college, and we had an induction ceremony. And so the dean of the honors college is talking to all of us freshmen who moved in only hours ago, and he's talking about how great this opportunity is and how you have brand new dorms and brand new mattresses and AC, and to whom much is given, much is expected. And I thought, wow, that's super dramatic. You give me AC and you expect me to cure cancer in return. And seriously, I thought there and I was like, wow, this guy's crazy. So good start, right? Day one, and I'm already like turned off by the dean. Turns out that is a really, really true statement. Getting to go to college, getting scholarships to get to go to college is a privilege that is granted to so few. It's an amazing opportunity that we've been given, and we have to make sure that we don't waste it. Don't go to college just to get some degree and just to meet some friends and go to some parties. Go to college to get the degree that you've always wanted and to meet some of the most inspiring and intelligent and amazing people that you will ever meet. Since reflecting on my year at UMass and in preparation for coming here tonight, I've realized that the message and the mission of the Rotary Club and the words of my dean actually complement each other really well. You Rotarians, you serve the world, you make an impact across the globe, you use what resources you have to educate and serve others. I have no doubt that you expect the same of us scholarship recipients. Sorry, that's a mouthful. Your generosity is awe-inspiring. You're changing lives. You have 100% changed mine. SHS, fellow grads, fellow alum, which is so weird for me to say. I still feel like a Scituate sailor. Remember to go forward in life with purpose and to take advantage of everything that's been given to you. Growing up in Scituate and going to Scituate High School and getting scholarships from amazing people like the Rotary Club has opened doors for me and I know will open doors for you that most people can't even imagine. What we've been given is nothing to take lightly, because to whom much is given, much is expected. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to hear what you guys are doing. And thank you again.
Include here? Oh, okay.
Always.
I know.
I put my academic outfit on today.
Very scholarly.
Pretty scholarly, right?
Good.
Very good, thank you.
Jackie, can we ask Ray a couple of questions?
I suppose, sure. It's gotta be
Do you want me to
short.
stand there? Can I?
Sure, step there.
Okay.
Then you said that when you were saying editor and doing these other things, are those the things you're actually doing?
Yeah, so I was actually just hired as an assistant editor for the news team of the Daily Collegian, for the largest daily, university daily
Is
in
this
New
the
England.
university newspaper? So this isn't just for your college or your...
No, so this is
That's
all of the University of
fabulous.
Massachusetts Amherst, and I think we're about 9,000 in circulation right now. So we print Monday to Thursday. So that's really exciting. And I'm on the news team, so I get to cover, I like to cover all the state events. So anytime the governor makes an announcement that has to do with higher ed, I like to cover those sorts of things. My roommate always jokes that I'm talking with the governor on the phone, and I'm totally not. I'm just talking to like his press secretary or someone in the media relations office. And then most departments at UMass have an advisory board, so I'm on the political science undergraduate board, and we work with faculty and students and the department administrators to sort of gauge what the students are thinking and then communicate with the faculty. We're on hiring committees. Whenever there's a lecturer brought in, we kind of get to say what they're going to talk on. Our biggest project for next year is we're trying to get a gubernatorial debate to happen on campus, because we feel as being the flagship university, we would like them to pay attention to us. You know, we service 30,000 students, most of them from the state. We're pretty important, we like to think. So that's what we're working on right now. And then the other thing that I'm doing, there's this shelter called Safe Passage, which is in Northampton, which is a city probably 20 minutes from Amherst, that services women and children who are victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. And so there's this thing called Sisters of the Runway, and it's an organization, it's based in New York, and you basically run a fashion show at your school, and people pay $30 to $50 depending on if you're a student or a member of the community to come, and all of those proceeds go towards women and ending domestic violence and towards the Safe Passage shelter. And this year we raised around $7,000, so it was really great. Yeah. So that's what's happening in Amherst.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Very good.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. She's just got to work on her energy level.
Enthusiastic.
You got to just bring it up a little bit. I think that we're ready for dinner.
We are.
And so historically, we've always offered the guests and the visitors to go to the dinner line first. So please do that. She's done some great work for us, Ruth has, in putting the articles in the Mariner.
Yes.
And I met all the new people from the Mariner over at the Marshfield Awards Night, where they awarded the Community Contributor for the year.
Citizen of the Year.
Yeah, right. Mike Moresco, is that right? He's the Assistant Secretary of State in the Commonwealth. Good guy, very interesting guy. When you find out about people that appear to be one way, and this guy's favorite thing is 70s disco stuff. And he's just, he's kind of my hero. He's this little pudgy guy that just gets stuff done. He does everything. Community Christmas, he does Boys and Girls Club Board, he just kind of slides through life. He's Mr. Teflon, he does wonderful contributions to the town. So they awarded him that. But I met all the people from the Mariner, the new Nancy White, and I've got their cards and stuff, so we can make contact with them. District grants, JD. I wanted JD to talk about this because this was, I only had one criticism of the notes from last week, is that they were way too non-reflective of the actual fireball discussion that we had last week.
Sorry about that, Jack.
But,
I was trying to be diplomatic.
yeah, diplomatic. It didn't reflect what actually occurred. I was just getting back from being
So that's why I kept on saying it was nice to miss that meeting.
Yeah, really. Because when he called me with what had occurred when he talked to the district about grants and things, I was justified. It felt good.
Well, I don't have any prepared remarks, and so I'm going to preempt this for a second just to pass along a couple of other things. This is an article from a couple weeks ago on Dan Schmelzer. I'll pass this along. And then I couldn't help, but also in the same newspaper, I think, a little blurb on John Miller III from Scituate. So I'll pass that along too.
Is that you?
That's my son.
Oh, your son, the third now.
Yep.
Your son, the third.
Yep. So district grants, well, we're hoping to be semi-aggressive this year and put in a number of grants. The district will match 50% of the grant amount. It's got to be the project's got to be a maximum of $1,000 minimum. And so we're going to try to be aggressive on a number of different areas. I've already started to submit some drafts of grants to the woman who's in charge of this for the district, and because she's been nice enough to say, send me whatever you've got. I'll let you know if it's incomplete, if it looks good, if it needs something else, and I'll send it back to you, and then you can tweak it and submit it finally. So we will be we expect to be putting in grant applications for VILA, community dinners, which we'll rename in some other form this year, scholarships, including for Brad and Jess and Isabel this year, because the Rotary calendar year, or the Rotary fiscal year, runs until June 31st. So actually 2013, 2014 is right now. The district will actually consider grants for the scholarships we awarded, or that we awarded last week, or recognized last week, as well as for next year. So a couple of scholarship grants, RILA, as I mentioned, community dinners, Boys and Girls State. The district might help match some funds for our funding of Boys and Girls State participants, and there's one more maybe. Maybe something, if we can pull something together for Interact. So we hope to get 4 or 5 applications in for grants in the next, well, in the next couple weeks. Yeah, and we've got a couple that are sort of, as I said, already started, so
Right.
hopefully we'll move forward.
JD's heading that off. That is a program, in case some of you don't know it. We put money into Rotary International, and after 3 years, it comes back to the district to be distributed in some of these and other bigger programs. So that means that we kind of all have an obligation to contribute and have, if you haven't already done it, this year, by the end of this year, we need to contribute our part, our $100 or minimum of $100 into this fiscal year, which ends the end of this month. So some of us do it month by month, others do it at the end. So I'm going to put a little note out to everyone that they should get that money into to Janet. So that's a good program. Thank you, Judy. We don't have any news about the phone book yet, except I think we're gonna proceed with it. We haven't made that decision yet for Scituate, but we're gonna try to streamline it and get it done a little faster. Try to save some money. Try to get a better quote out of our publisher, and then try to work into at the same time into the electronic side of the phone book, to where people can do things like photograph QR files, or get website access electronically, or download the files that are not public to Verizon into our website and other websites. So people, it has more value to the people that are paying for it. We're working on fireside chat dates for Kristen Dewey and now Kathy Paul. The grills are getting cranked up this weekend for the WPA meeting with Officer Dom a week from tonight. So we're going to crank those things up, and you know what I didn't do?
And does everybody know where that building is?
No.
That's it's the stone building right next, in North Scituate, right next to Dottie's Cleaners, or behind Dottie's Cleaners. And it's the sort of the adjacent parking lot to the train station.
Oh, okay.
We need to send a food list around to what people can bring. Maybe I'll do it electronically.
And that's next week or the week after?
Next week.
That's next week.
And what time does it start?
Same thing. It's
Yeah,
a meeting,
normal.
so I'll be there at 6 o'clock.
Which is doing north, which is at a different
It's a
site.
nice little venue. There's a restroom there. There's a kitchen there.
Good.
There's you know, we're going to bring our hot plates and probably do what do we think at the board meeting? We thought maybe sausage. Yeah.
Little Fenway thing.
Do a Fenway thing for dinner. And that's a way to gain a little money for our coffers, which are a little short right now, Bernie's told us. Yeah, they'll be better than Fenway's. Need a menu. Bernie has said that at least email, is that public about credit cards? We talked about that. Tonight we talked about, we've got that covered. Announcements. Did anybody go to the car show over at Hull? Help those guys out. Anybody show up over there? They had old car show on the beach. It would have been kind of fun. June 20th is the governor installation of Warwick, Rhode Island. I cannot go, but we should have a representative there because our governor is, huh? Yeah, Dietrich will go, but we should have a half a table anyhow, so we need to work on that.
I think that's Friday, the 20th.
The 20th, 6 p.m. June 22nd, the Friendship Home Walk at Wampatuck is by invitation from Wilma Goodhue. Would be kind of fun to participate in. Boys and Girls Club Golf on the 27th, if people are interested. I usually just send them $50 because I'm not a golfer, but I am on their corporation board. Request, because they do allow people to be from other towns and not just from Marshfield for Boys and Girls. There's a young lady from Magical Moon intern, a lady named Stephanie Jones, that has asked us to fund her internship for the summer. So I'm going to contact her, have them come talk to us, see if there's some way we can fund some of her expenses. Because she's foregoing work this summer in order to work over there for nothing. So, and for those of you who are not familiar with Magical Moon, it's for kids that have cancer, young kids, and they get they become knights, and they make a suit of armor for them, and they have a task that they have to perform, and it's really cool. It's Donna Green that does it. You should have her come by. So next week it'd be potluck and the grill. I called it the grill flight test. Being a flight test guy, everything's kind of flight or hockey oriented around me. So we're going to try those out. Give Officer Dom his award. Finally, you have
the certificate.
Thing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. The 25th, I'm going to give a summation of my year or our year with me, and we'll induct JD. That would be John Miller the second. And I can't wait until that night. July 2nd, we've got a potluck at the Kelly Bridge. This young man from town that wrote an article about the naming of the bridge and who it's named for is going to talk to us about that activity. We're going to have another little cookout. So we're doing a few of these. One of them in August too. I think up 27. Get up there, and that's a good place to go for a potluck because you can close it up, and even if the weather's bad, you do pretty well there. Let's see. I think that's all I had.
Who planned all of this?
Who planned all of what?
Well, mostly we all follow Mike Johnson.
Well, let's give Mike Johnson a big hand.
Mike has been kind of on fire this year.
Yes, he is. Yes.
And I consider that good management, but it might be because I just chose not to do some things and he picked up the slack. I'm not sure which way that works. I'll take credit for it.
I'm looking forward to Fourth Cliff, though. I haven't been there. I've heard great things.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a nice place because you can look at the Atlantic and you can look at the marsh. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue. And any of you people who are visitors tonight that want to join us at any of these things, you can find out where we are by looking at the login at the outside website that we have with Club Runner. You can just Google Scituate, Massachusetts Rotary. There's a Scituate in Rhode Island. Those guys broke away because of religious issues, right? A while ago. So you can Google that, and on the front page it'll tell you where we are and where we're having, but it's always Wednesday night. Anything at this table for comments? Did I forget anything? What about over here? Anything over there? Good to have everybody here tonight. What about you guys?
Can't think of anything.
Okay. Joe, you or Bernie have anything? We're going to close this thing down.
Can I put another feather in Mike's hat?
Sure.
Most Rotary clubs have trouble filling meetings with speakers. If I wanted to talk about computer viruses, Mike, when could I talk?
Maybe you get in February.
We're booked like, half a year out.
That's cool. That's my feather.
My only advice to JD is just put the big harness on Mike, man. I mean, he's just out there.
Let him go.
He is out there. I want to get the guy back that is the drama department lead for Scituate High School. Ty?
Yeah, we got him back.
We need to get him back.
Yeah, he's great.
Have you ever heard him do Macbeth? Oh my gosh, he did Lady Macbeth here.
We did it in high school too.
Oh, she was a mean person, let me tell you. Okay, so, anything else? Okay, thank you very
So
much.
next week we're North Scituate.
North Situate at the WPA building, which is an information, it's a rock, it's made out of stones out of the
And
beach.
you'll send a list of things that.
We need to get some
Great.
food,
Yeah.
food lists sent around, and I'll have to just do that.
The objective includes some directions from Poynton North Situate, you know, like the downtown quote-unquote.
Jamie's,
Yeah.
up the front door, turn right. Go
Yeah.
through the lights, it's on,
Canvas.
it's right there.
Next to the train station.
It's right next, it's right across the street from the train station, beyond the lights as you're leaving North Situate. It's right there.
For the tennis courts, used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tennis
exactly.
courts used to be. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anybody else got unsure where it is?
Where the boot sale was, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, where the food sale, as they say in England, right? Food sale. Okay, thank you very much for coming, appreciate it.